everybody, and welcome back to the season finale in what is Realistic Tier Season 9. Good evening to you, Wizardmen. Good evening, Nico, Monaco. In it, just about. Welcome back. It's the season finale, and it is my absolute privilege to bring you race number 500 in IIRL. I am very, very looking forward to this. We have 13 wonderful racers as it currently stands joining us for this season finale round round the Singapore street circuit. Currently, the Drivers' Championship is been taken, and it has been taken by Cod Camper. There are a couple of other battles going around. You've got a lovely battle going on for P2 in the Drivers' Championship between Deflated Wee and Alessio, who are both racing tonight. Then you also have the opportunity for Ethan to get ahead of that guy in the constructors. He's got a 5 point gap in the drivers, a 5 point gap there. So Ethan is looking to get up to P9, and also Padge being in that as well. So there is a good opportunity for some drivers to move up the leaderboards. We have had over, I want to say 45 races in Realistic Tier, so there has been a load of mixing about here and there, but it's still been a lovely tier to watch, and the lovely differences with the recent drivers patch as well. Nico has been, some of the top teams have been moved around. Apparently Red Bull is the best car, and McLaren is now second, and Ferrari and Mercedes have swapped places, so that has mean there has been some switches around. So Rothwell and Captain Aiden are in what would have been the Ferrari before the patch, and Nico has been moved down to the Ferrari. Cod Camper has been disqualified for driving the wrong way. That is quite class. Nico begging for rain. I really hope not, just for my standards, but you know, we will take that as it is. But this is race 500. Nico is on the first car. No, he was the first car on the track. It has now been taken by Wizmitten. But we have got for you Nico in the Ferrari, of course, fresh off a race win. His first race win in assist here in Imola, looking to add to that this week before next season. Good evening, Killian. I hope you're very well, my friend. We've got Padge in the McLaren, Captain Aiden in the Mercedes. Tassit is back. He's not in the commentary booth this week. He is in McLaren. Wizard Mitten is in the Red Bull. Alessio is in the Alpine. Two Aston Martin drivers of IIRL making his debut after getting P4 in the NA Drivers' Championship on Tuesday. And Ethan has been pushed up a bit. Deflated Wee is in the Sauber car. Alex is in the Red Bull. Rothwell is in the Mercedes, and Killian is in his favoured Ocon car of the Haas, and guaranteed he is also in that Japanese livery that came out yesterday. Yeah, Alex, I think there are a load of better tracks available than Singapore, but as always, we do like to sync up with the real-life calendar, so this is the chosen season finale for this week. Wizmitten currently on a run as it stands. He is just exiting the Anderson Bridge now. I need to get the track map up. What they call the TV crew has not done it for me. Wizmitten, he's set the purples of sector 2 and 1. He is of course the first driver to finish it up. There are 4 DRS tracks round DRS locations around this track, and only 3 DRS detection points. With Wizmitten crossing the line now first, he sets us off with a 29.8, which will then be followed by the Ferrari of Nico looking for his race win. He is over a second and a half faster, and then we have As no, that's not IIRL, but it will be it will be IIRL that'll be next, but he has invalidated, so I believe that means it'll be Rothwell next to finish a lap. We are Alex thinking that next season should be a completely random calendar. Yeah, I mean, it has been discussed what what tracks are going to be in the calendar as Rothwell goes a second slower than Nico. Nico, I think, looking very, very comfortable out there. As apologies, I forgot to put the tyre markers on their COD on the wet compound of tyre. It has been very much talked about what is going to be happening with Season X and the calendar for that, because I think a lot of us would, and a lot of drivers would hope that you get the most raceable tracks, as Alessio seems to have backed out here and is going for another run as Tacit, my commentary partner during the season, is going to be finishing a run now. He's very hesitant on racing, but goes up to P4 with a 31.9. Which then means that next up is going to be Wizard Mitten. He is coming into the pit lane, apologies. There's going to be the Ethan. It's going to be Ethan up next. Around this very, very tight track, very high downforce, not a lot of overtaking opportunities, but dependent on setup and how confident you are. Ethan going up to P2 is still a second off the back of Nico, so Nico may have pulled an absolute amazing lap time there. So Nico looking very, very comfortable and maybe even a shot for the winner. IIRL in his debut in realistic tier goes up to P2. He enters that big blob of cars of the 4 cars within 2/10 of each other. As we also have Killian, who I believe went P5 during all of that. So look at that livery. That livery is absolutely stunning. Deflated Wee has just started a run, so we'll go on a lap with Deflated Wee, as he's coming down the first DRS straight now, not including the main straight. Into the left-hander now. I believe they have names, but I'm not very sure of them, as there is a yellow flag in sector 3, but that's just cars running out of fuel. Deflated Wee going very, very wide there into this left-hander. He's now putting on the battery, trying to get it underway through the old Singapore Sling section, which of course is very much beloved by, but only lasted a year, as he comes down to this third DRS straight. He's got a bit of traffic to make it through of an Aston Martin, but see what he can do over the curb now. The Mercedes keeps out his way very, very nicely as he comes towards the run to turn. That was a terrible track map I chose. Turn 16 and 17, a little chicane, because they removed the stadium section a couple of years back. And Deflated Wee, I thought wasn't going to qualify, but he has gone up to P2 and he's the second driver to enter the 28s. As I believe one of the Mercedes also finished the lap time. That was Rothwell, maybe doing a 29.3. Not 100% sure. It might be starting a lap. It is Aiden who is starting a lap. Alessio is also on an outlap. Of course, we do run short qualifying in realistic tier, so a lot of these drivers will not come out again. Nico saying, lads, that was not a good lap. What are you on, my friend? As Ethan saying he shouldn't be in the Ferrari. Maybe, maybe not. But that is looking like a very, very good lap there from Nico. I don't know how he has managed that. Nico, for the sake of it, do you mind just like backing off and going to the back of the grid, or not doing another lap, please, and stop stat padding? As Captain Aiden now goes through the Anderson Bridge. And with the battery, he's going to get a little bit of a tow here. From he's not going to get a little bit of a tow, that's the stake behind him. As Captain Aiden now coming down towards turn 16, as now he enters the final couple of corners, very much flat through here, and he goes P8 with a 29.9, which then leaves us to Alessio, who's halfway through a run. Have Alpha Matti added? That's because Alpha Matti will be joining us within 8 minutes. There's another. We always seem to be catching drivers at turn 16. But Alessio now coming to the line, he will be going to P3s on the border of the 29s. Yeah, I know, COD, I know. Oh well. That's what happens when you get a man who sweats this track out week in, week out. As loads of drivers are on their second runs now. Alessio is not on a run, so I believe Ferrari's Nico coming to finish start a run now. Rothwell, of course, had some good performances throughout the season. I think he's been struggling a bit here and there. He's been involved in some incidents. Alpha Matti is now here, and Rothwell has been involved in some incidents here and there. He's maybe struggled a bit, and he's still trying his way to get that podium that he so wants. Just, is he going to be able to get it? Hopefully next season. I hope it will come next season for him. Maybe even today if he can get his strategy right, which we'll talk about strategies in the 5-minute break. He's currently 2/10 down on his previous best lap time, so it's not going to be an improvement as of yet. And COD, I mean, if you weren't starting at the back of the grid, mate, you'd maybe get close, but based off the sheet that I was given, it, on paper it looked like Mercedes was worse than the better than the Ferrari. So in all sense of the word, it was a downgrade, but it seems to be that Nico has done some practicing and has got it right. Killian has gone up to a 29 flat, and Tassit, I believe, will be coming to finish a run. He's half a tenth up, so he should get an improvement. He's not yet into the 31s, but that's still a decent improvement from the McLaren driver. Of course, there are no Constructors' Championship, as I believe that is Ethan coming to finish the line. He goes P2, 3/10 off Nico, so the track is ramping up. And depending what Nico does, we'll see how bad the decision was for him to be placed in the Ferrari. I'd have to fire myself for that decision. I can also fire Deflated Wee for not telling me otherwise, because me and him do decide the teams. Nico backing out of his run to maybe going again. IIRL, I believe, just finished a run there. Not too sure if he improved, so apologies for that. Rothwell invalidating his run, and Killian maybe doing a double run, maybe no, Killian's just done a run, so he'll be coming in at the end of this lap. Alex is also going to be coming in. So is anyone actually on a run yet? There's a yellow flag with Killian at the turn 16, looking like he's had an error. I wish I had seen that. As very, very unfortunate timing from myself. I'll have to fire the TV crew as well. Might as well just get a whole new crew chief TV crew for next season. Doesn't look like anyone is actually pushing, because they all know this would be their last run, as COD Camper has left the session. COD, please come back. We need you to have a great race. And as you can see, Ethan and IIRL is actually pushing, so he is on a run. He's invalidated now, so that is going to be the end of IIRL's lap. Yeah, I believe you have been put in one of the better cars once you've selected a car, so you should be all good, Alpha Matti. I wish you the best of luck in the race. Yes, I'm being told the same thing about Nico being placed in the Ferrari. As we are about to get underway with the final runs, as one car is going to be going out on track, as well as Padge, who is halfway round it on his outlap. Well, I'm hoping that Nico doesn't improve, but as he's just said that he can, Alphameti backing out of the session, so we need to get him in, and I don't have him added, so that is very unfortunate. As get underway with that is unfortunate. Anyway, back to the action on track with Padge on a run. He's just exiting the first couple of corners now, going ready for the first DRS straight. He's invalidated, so he does have time to go for another run if he's got the fuel for it. Yeah, Alphameti, you'll have to join back the session. There's a bug within the game. We'll try and get you in as quick as possible. You might have to add my EA. It's L SOX I. I'll put it in the chat. I believe it is like that, so with L's rather than I's for some reason. If you can quickly add that, then I'll try and get you in the session as quickly as possible, as everyone is on track. I mean, with the numbers the way they are, we could probably get a restart, and I don't know. Well, I'll pose that question if it comes to it, but I don't think anyone would mind. But we'll see how that goes, as Padge and loads of other drivers are all going to be. So Padge will be the first driver to start a final run, as just over a minute. Padge now will be starting his final run, as for some reason EA are deciding to try and connect me. But Padge now starting a run. I believe Tacit is also on a run. He's at a 10th and a half up, so we'll sit on board with Tacit. Yellow flags in, as Tacit is hitting the wall there. That is very unfortunate for Tacit, so looks like it might be the end of his session. So we'll see what Alex can do. Of course, Alex has been one of the hardest workers in the league to try and improve. He's had some good performances in assist here, and is looking likely, depending on the race result on Sunday, that he could become a Constructors' Champion, which he'll be very, very happy about. Sent you another invite. Alex now going to the final DRS straight now. Before Alphameti, you're in time. Let's go. Yes, great stuff. I think it might just put you in a car now, but you should be in. You'll be in a Ferrari anyway, so that's perfect, because the game will put you in that. Alex now coming to finish his final run. He will jump up to just ahead of Tacit. It'll be P10 with Tacit finishing a run there. So Padge will be up next. We'll see what Padge can do. He's not invalidated, lucky enough for him, so Padge will be P12. Captain Aiden now will be up next, and Captain Aiden with I believe one of his second race in real estate here will go up to P7 ahead of his makeshift teammate for the night, as Rothwell has gone straight on. Alessio up to P3 into the 28th, and Deflated We will be P4. Next up will be IIRL, as Rothwell has been disqualified, looking maybe to start at the back of the grid. IIRL going through now, so IIRL is going to be P3. Great result for IIRL in his debut. Wizard Mitten, loads of the results there. So Wizard Mitten P8, and Killian pushing himself up to P5. Great result from the Aston Martin boys tonight. Not able to improve for Ethan. But of course, we try and not let mistakes in car picking order. Nico did alert us to a car performance change before the race on Wednesday. So it's looking like maybe the performance chart wasn't differed as much. Yeah, if Nico might have to be nerfed slightly, but there's nothing that we can do. Unfortunately, we just have to hope the race is a banger and there are some safety cars. Well, that is going to be the end. What do you mean? You're not washed! But anyway, that is the end of our qualifying there. Nico is P1. Ethan P2 was not able to improve on his best lap time. Iraskwa P3 on debut. Great debut for Iraskwa in qualifying. Alessio P4. Killian P5. Deflated Wee P6. Captain Aiden P7. Wizard P8. Alex P9. Tacit P10. Padge P11 and Rothwell and Cod Camper will be starting from the back of the grid after getting disqualified. So now we will be entering the 5-minute break in which we let the drivers do whatever they would like to do. They get to do this strategies, which I'll talk about in a moment. I would just like to say a very big congratulations to IIRL for making it to race 500 and letting me be the choice of commentator for it. I mean, to be fair, Nico, you're not wrong. You probably would have, but they say a big monumental occasion for the league. I thought I had the biggest honour of bringing you the 400th race, which was in Brazil a couple of seasons ago. But apparently, I was just told earlier tonight that there was a miscount in there. Johnny B, welcome! But I was just been told there was a miscount, and I did not do the 400th race. I might have done the 399 or the 401, not too sure, but I'm still going to say that I did the 400th race, and I have the biggest honour of giving you the 500th race in IIRL's history, and I cannot say that it is an honour to bring it to you. So, talking strategy tonight, there is going to be a big skill gap. There is, as you if you watch Tuesday's stream in No Assist, in which John was crowned your 5-time No Assist champion in a row as well, and Mercedes were also crowned constructors champion. You would see that there was a big disparity between the one-stop and the two-stop being quicker. Even though the one-stop is possible, you could see cars gaining cars on the two-stops compared to those on the one-stop. That the two-stoppers were actually gaining quite a bit of time, especially through the middle sector where it's a lot of slow traction zones, and when you're on the older tyres, that's not really possible to to get as much traction as you would like. So when it comes down to it, we don't know which would be quicker, and if you want to throw in any safety cars in there, then realistically we don't know what's going to be quicker as it currently stands. And I would like to gauge your predictions for this 500th race in the league's history. Who do we think is going to win? Like I said, Nico is on pole, probably in the wrong car, but when mistakes happen like that, it only happens once every so often, so it's not. It's a bit unfortunate that the error has taken place, but I will try and commentators curse him to endless ends that he puts it in the wall like he did in the practice lobby. So with all due hope in he actually is able to be at the back of the grid. I mean, to be fair, we said that. Don't worry, Johnny B. Your secret is safe with me. You're now the faster John. Oh. Oh no! Nico, I like you when you're around the same pace as me, and it's not hate watch. It's wanting the race to be good. and wanting you to fight your way to the front rather than you just going from doing a Max Verstappen and going from um, first to first and finishing that way. Are about to get underway. I think we'll be going underway anytime soon, and as I say that, we have. As you can see, we have got 14 races now. That is the wrong one. As you can see, the two at the back of the grid, Cod Camper and Alpha Mati, starting on the soft compound tyre. Of course, Cod Camper is your reigning and will be defending next season. He is your realistic tier champion, the first realistic tier champion. As you can see, you've got a range of strategies here. You have got always Killian Deflated We have been disqualified from the sessions. They will be starting on Johnny B. You will always make me giggle, my friend. As you can see, Killian and Deflated We getting disqualified, so they will be starting at a disadvantage, which maybe will allow Captain Aiden, maybe even Wizard Mitten, to get a jump on them. As you can see, we've got IIRL, Captain Aiden, Tacit and Rothwell all starting on the hard compound of tyre. Got Camper and Alpha Mati starting on the soft compound of tyre, looking to make an advantage of those tyres early on, maybe hoping for a early safety car that they can change their strategy. And you've got Nico, Ethan, Alessio, Wizard Mitten, Alex and Padge all starting on the medium compound of tyre. So what can I tell you about the Singapore street circuit around Marina Bay? It is hot, it is long, and of course they have taken out the stadium section here, so it is now just one massive long straight, which did make the race slightly slower, but it has created a what you would think would be another good overtaking opportunity. But we'll see if anyone of these 14 drivers decides to use it, as the whole grid is in a Ferrari sandwich right now, which is very, very funny and very nice to see. As you can see, Killian's Japan liveried was it Haas car there. As Ethan has jumped the grid box, so Nico looking like he's going to get a very good start here, as everyone has now lined up. It is going to be underway any second now. As we wait right now, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it is 5 red lights, and away they fly. Nico leading the way, bit of overtakes in the background with Cod Camper getting way through some cars. Deflated We setting a great move on the Aston Martin of IIRL, and I believe Rothwell having a little moment there, maybe with Tacit getting caught up there. Killian making his way past IIRL looking down the inside, bit of tapping the wall there for Deflated We, but Nico is 5 tenths away from it's now 5 tenths ahead of Ethan. Currently you can see the strategy board there. Ethan's gone straight on. Ethan! No! Ethan now fallen to the back of the grid, and that means that the gap from to Nico is now 1.2 seconds. Ethan, what are you doing? As Tacit has also had a moment at the turn 3. Cod Camper has already made his way up to P6 using those soft tyres to a great effectiveness, even though he is in that stake F1 team kick Sauber, and he's now within the DRS, which will become of effect at the end of this lap. Defeated We looking at overtaking Alessio looking very snappy there. Of course, this is going to be a lovely battle for P2 in the Drivers' Championship between Deflated We and Alessio. Whichever one, the Deflated We, Alessio is currently ahead, but if Deflated We outscores Alessio by 4 points, then he will take P2 in the Drivers' Championship. Very wide there for Deflated We. I hope he has managed to avoid a warning. As you can see cars in the background, that looks like a Red Bull struggling, fighting with a Ferrari. Nico is getting away as it currently stands. We're going to be hoping for a very different strategy here, as Nico looking very comfortable with that, but deflated wing with the battery and the rear wing open, not able to get past Alessio as of yet. Looking back through the field, no one is trying any moves yet. Tasset going for an early pit stop. He's broken his front wing, so Tasset is now definitely going to have to fight his way back through the fight his way and hope there is a safety car to gain back time, or maybe he'll get there on raw pace. We'll see how his stint goes, and we'll be back with him shortly within this 31 lap race. Nico still leading the way as it comes down. Gap is now getting up to 2 seconds, so we'll have to see if the strategy that Nico selects will allow him to stay ahead and see what the difference is. Cod Camper getting past Aiden with those soft compounded tyres, so we'll see how long Cod Camper will be able to last. It's got 2 second gap to Killian as it currently stands, so we'll see how long it takes him to catch up, or if his soft tyres do start to die off, and we'll see what actually happens there. Deflated Wee still on the back of Alessio, looking very, very feisty. He's got 3/10, and will he have enough battery and enough rear wing? Wizard Mitten getting the first 3 second time penalty of the race, and it's not looking like Deflated Wee is going to be able to make a move. As of yet, he's not close enough. Even with Cod Camper, he's not gaining any more time, so those soft tyres have died after 3 laps here, which he managed to make it up to P5, so that's, I'll give him massive plaudits for that. So when it comes to the actual racing now, he is going to have, if he wants to commit to a one stop, he's going to have to go very, very long on those probably hard compound tyres if he comes in at the end of this lap, or will he hold on for however long is possible to see what can be done. But the gap is actually falling between Nico now. We'll see. He is positive on fuel, so it is not fuel saving. Maybe Alessio is finding a comfort rhythm as Wizardman and Alpha Matty are fighting into turn 16. Lovely bit of move there from Wizard Mitten. A little bit of battling there. I'm not sure. I can't remember who was ahead at the final corner, but Padge looking at maybe overtaking Alpha Matty. Alpha Matty looking like those soft tyres are not. They're looking like cheese now. Maybe looking a bit like cheese. So we'll see what happens there. Deflated Wee still trying his best to catch up as Aiden Cod Camper falling down the order a bit. Padge also getting past Alpha Matty as well. That included Cod and IIRL getting past Cod Camper. So Rothwell also gets past Alpha Matty on those hard compound tyres. So you're going to see a range of strategies here and see how they fare. Maybe Nico will have the pace to try the one stop, or maybe he'll commit to the 2 stop and someone else will try the 1 stop. As Wizmitten gets another 3 second time penalty, which is unfortunate for Ace, as he's also struggling in the Anderson Bridge part of the track. You see him struggling with traction. Both him and Rothwell are struggling with traction out of the Anderson Bridge section of the track. As we go back up to the front of the grid now, it's now 2.1 seconds to Nico in front. And Deflated Wee is going to be looking more and more likely that he is going to be fighting with Deflated Wee and Killian the entire race. So if he just got Nico in the right car, it would have been fine. Rothwell getting a 3 second time penalty. That is his first of the race. But of course Singapore is not known for its overtakes, so with these very, very wide Formula 1 cars, it's going to be very difficult to see passes, but with the difference in strategies, it might be slightly easier. As it currently stands, best gainer so far, it has been God Camper, but he has fallen down the order slightly. He's been up 6 positions, but he has also started on those soft compound tyres, so we expect to see him in a couple of laps times, and those soft tyres will probably have very, very bad graining. As we look at these three, the gap is now 2.4 seconds, so do they want to fight, or do they want to try and catch up to Nico? Nico, we'll see how much he is burning through his tyres. Of course, we won't get a percentages, but Nico looking very, very good tonight in that Ferrari. It's his first time for a while being in that Ferrari, and as Alex gets past Cod, but Cod coming in to the pits now off those soft compound tyres, so they lasted 6 laps. They lasted 5 laps technically, and Alpha Matty also coming in the same lap, as they Cod Camper is pitting for a medium set of tyres, and same with Alpha Matty, so they will have to pit again. We'll see how long they go through this race. As we go back to the front, Killian has now is now back in DRS of Alessio, but Alessio trying to maybe catch up to Nico, but we don't know what's going to happen here. So maybe if a late safety car comes out, they can all pit for fresh tyres. We'll see if that is a benefit or not. These three looking very like they're going to be together. We've got a yellow car, that's Captain Aiden, and the C is a VSC. It is a VSC. It's the first, as we don't know what happened there with Captain Aiden. It looks like he's just gone straight on at the Anderson Bridge, maybe hit a wall. It's not a safety car, that is a VSC, and that is going to be the first one of the race. So this will mean that the drivers will have to go 40% of their speeds. Nico does come into the pits maybe slightly earlier than you would expect. He is going to lose out a bunch of time, but it might be too far off here as he does pit for the hard compound tyres. He's been held up here, but that's just the game. Congratulations, as that has put us deflated. We also came in, and Padge also coming in as well. That does mean Alessio and Killian have now been promoted to net lead, as Alex has been moved up to P4. And Wismitten and Padge also coming in. We're back up to green flag racing now. Some drivers may be thinking it's just slightly too early for the switch over in tyres, as Captain Aiden is expressing his frustrations in the Discord chat. That was a voice break. But yeah, so Cod Camper has come out in P9. He's now P9, so that's the VSC definitely did not help him. So he's gonna have a race on his hands, try and catch up. Nico has been out in P6, so see how he is able to get up to speed on his as he is looking like the clear favourite, to put it nicely today. He's looking like a massive favourite for the race win today. So he has chosen to come in earlier than Alessio, Killian, IIRL and Alex Rothwell. Of course, 2 of those are on the alternate strategy. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to say that, see how that goes. Quite a lot of times today. However, it is going to be a good race nonetheless, as Nico is not currently in first place, and he has got some moves to make, as Nico is P6, and there's not currently any major battles going out at the moment, but Deflated Wheat is looking like he's going to make a move on Ethan, who is out of place to say the least. They're both out of place, really. Ethan having that mistake on lap 1. I don't think Ethan puts up a fight there, knowing that they just be holding each other up. So Deflated Wee does get the move done there, and now this battle for P1 on the road has got Alessio and Killian. We'll see just what Killian can do and see if he can get past. Alessio is making a move around the outside here. This is beautiful stuff. Gets very, very tight with track limits, and he still will have the DRS, so will Alessio fight this? It is going to be a drag battle down to turn 16. Killian is ahead, but Alessio has the inside line, and Alessio will allow Killian through. Will this push Alessio to come into the pits, as this camera angle is awful, but Alessio will carry on with Killian, so they are going to carry on for another couple of laps. We've got IIRL currently running in P3, so it does look like Killian's maybe saving his tyres a bit better in that the Haas car. Nico getting past Rothwell into turn 1. He's now got Alex ahead of him with a 3-second penalty. And Killian this season is leading on the road as it currently stands. He has mainly, in realistic here, been in the Williams car as Nico gets past Alex into turn, whatever that turn is, I'm not 100% sure. Track numbers are not my thing, if you couldn't tell. Also, if you would like to view a driver's on board, we do not have a red button, but what you can do is you can request it in the chat, use your channel points or channel points, or just request it in the Twitch chat. If you would like the onboard, we'll give you an onboard for maybe a lap or so, depending if there are any battles. We do not want to miss any battles. So if you would like that, please request it. As Tacit gets another 3-second time penalty. It's not been a good day for Tacit. He's got 30-second gap to Alfa Matti as it currently stands. He was really hoping for that VSC to become a full-blown safety car, but Alessio now getting past Killian as Killian comes into the pits. So Alessio is going to carry on as Rothwell also gets past Alex. Alex coming into the pit lane. Nico looking very, very feisty, is going to get a massive boost from his undercut. The undercut very, very powerful around it, as you would have seen on Tuesday. Drivers gaining monumental amounts of time from being able to run pit earlier and gain time. Cod Camper getting past Alex, who's in the pit lane as well, and Padge also doing the same, and it's going to be close with Alfa Matti and Alex coming out of the pit lane. Alfa Matti will be able to get past, as now that means Alex will be running P12. Deflated Wee and Rothwell are going to have a lovely battle here. Rothwell is not yet pit. He is on the older tyres, so he might not put as much of a fight in the battle for P4, as Rothwell does also have a time penalty. So I imagine that Rothwell will allow Deflated Wee to pass somewhat soon. As you can see, there it is. Tacit retiring in the pit lane. Very unfortunate for his race. He got caught out there. Doesn't think there is going to be a safety car. And Johnny B, where are you? I thought you were here to make me laugh. It does mean there are now 12 runners left in this race. As we go back up to the front, it is going to be a bit of time before we get a battle. There is still a battle as Tacit coming out the pit lane. My apologies. Rothwell is just outside of DNS. Did you do it, George? I caught the end of it and saw where your car was. And it was in a nice place, to say to the least. It's a great bit of parking, but can't park there, sir. I'll do that quote. And back up to the timing sheet. Scott Camper is running P8. He has got Killian ahead of him, who is on the fresher compound tyres. So there is a nice little battle there. And Nico has caught up to the back of IIRL. Don't know if Aya is going to put up a fight, but we'll have to wait and see, as Alessio is not coming yet. We would expect to see him maybe in this lap. But if he's going to do the one stop, he'll continue on for a couple more. Oh, very, very big dive send there from Nico on on IIRL. I'm getting names confused this race. Oh, you did clip the outside wall. Yeah, I had a feeling it's very fortunate. Oh, Nico is now looking up. He's got 2.6 seconds to get up to Alessio. Of course, he is the clear favourite for this race. Nico probably bribed the choosers. Killian setting the fastest lap of the race so far with a 32.9. Nico is now 2 seconds, and Alpha Matti is looking at maybe battling with Alex. Alex has got what would be the fresher tyres, but Alpha Matti is on mediums, which should be better. There's a little slide there for Alpha Matti coming out of turn 3. It doesn't put him in a good overtaking opportunity for at the moment, but IIRL is now out of DRS. He might have it for this straight, but will he be able to gain it back? He is not pitted yet, neither is Alessio, so it does look like Alessio and IIRL are trying the one-stop strategy, so this will be fun. It does look like Nico is going to commit to the two-stop. We'll see if he has chosen the harder tyre strategy, if he can continue on this. Alessio does come into the pits, and IIRL does continue on for now. Aya did, I believe, do the one-stop strategy on Tuesday, which costed me P4 in the Drivers' Championship. But Aya has been very, very class all season, and he deserves it. Alex getting a 3-second time penalty. And Alessio is now going to be passed by a whole load of drivers in the pit lane, as I need to remember to drink water. Call me Danny. Yellow flag. That is I believe maybe someone going into the wall or having a little slide at the pit lane entry. Killian now getting past Ethan with the use of DRS. I think Ethan not putting off fight. Ethan is on 12 lap old medium tyres. There's a lovely move there, and Killian now is going to be pushing on. If he tries the one stop or if he does the two stop, we'll have to wait and see. But he will be enjoying his time in Esteban's car, as I will say the last time that Killian was in the Haas was Hungary, and it did not go very well for him. So hopefully he can improve on that result. Nico is now back leading the way. He's got 2.5 second gap of battle for P8. I think Padge letting Alessio through, doesn't want to hold up Alessio and doesn't want to ruin his own race. So Alessio now trying to get a fight on, maybe go to the end of the race if, as COD also gets past Nico. Ethan coming into the pit lane for what will be his final stop, presumably for the hard compound tyres, which it is. So Ethan will now be going to the end of the race now. He will come out in P12, but he will have the freshest tyres out of everyone on the track, and will try and use his undercut to great advantage, because with great power comes great responsibility, as said by my good friend Uncle Ben, who makes great rice. Nico, the gap is now 3.2 seconds. So Nico using that 7 lap older tyres, or the 7 lap younger tyres, to his advantage. There was a slight tap with the wall there heard in the audio, but there is nothing missing off deflated Wii's car, so I believe everything is fine and dandy. It does mean that there isn't much going on. The gaps are quite big. Closest battle at the moment is the battle for P9, which is 1.3 seconds. No one's going to be looking like they're going for an overtake as it currently stands. And I don't know where Johnny B's gone, because he said he was going to make me giggle, but I will not be hurt. Alex on those fresh tyres is now within the DRS of his makeshift teammate for the night. Of course, no Constructors' Championship in realistic tier as it yet is yet to be decided whether there is going to be one for Season X, because we're cool and we like to call things by cool names. But we're yet to decide what is going to be happening, as realistic tier will be returning. It's very, very popular this season. Thank you very much, Johnny B. Alex very, very close to his teammate. As you can see, also Rothwell is now being attacked by Killian, who has now been able to catch up. A very, very slide there for Rothwell. It seems like he is not going to put up a fight, which will now allow Killian to pull through. And now he's got a 10-second gap to make to deflated Wii. As IIRL is still continuing on forward now. IIRL is known to be very, very good with his tyres, even within this game cycle, as Alex has made his way past Wiz and Mitten with the use of DRS. I keep missing these overtakes. Ethan and Alpha Matty fighting here. This is very, very nice. Called Camper coming into the pit lane for his final pit stop. What will hopefully be his final pit stop. Your teammate needs to save the end. Yeah, it seems to be that a mistake was made in his car choice for tonight. We were alerted that there was a performance patch. It's deflated. Wii gets a 3-second time penalty. That's not going to be good for his race. Cod Camper now falling to P12, but he's very, very close to the back of Alpha Matty. Yeah, Johnny B, we were alerted to a change in the performance patch, in the latest patch to performance in the top cars, in which Nico had alerted to us that the Ferrari was now worse than the Mercedes. But now, looking at it in hindsight, it doesn't look that way. And we may have made a mistake. And I will happily take all the blame for that, because that is on me. But it does seem to be that that gap now at 5 seconds is not looking too good. I think Nico will struggle to make it to the end. So I think there still might be a fight for the win. Or at least that's me just hoping and praying, not commentators cursing. Cod Camper getting past Alpha Matty at the traction zone of the exit of the Anderson Bridge. As I think I've got a cold coming, because I'm getting blocked noses. And it's not very fun. Wisdom getting another 3-second time penalty. He's on the back of his makeshift teammate. So maybe with the use of DRS he can make his way through. We'll see, not yet, but we'll see through turn, I want to say turn 6 into the exit, into the entry of turn 8. Will he decide to make the move? Yeah, you're not wrong there, Johnny B. I think the big thing now is how Him and Deflated We are on the same strategy, and I will be trying the one stop. They will probably all be on the same tile. Oh, Wizmitten hitting the wall there. Don't know if he got end plate damage, as we're still on board with him. But Deflated We catching IIRL, who is now, I would hope, come to pit soon. But they're all on the same strategy. The only one trying the one stop. Maybe someone hoping for a safety car towards the end of this race. To try and go to the end. But yeah, the gap being at 5 seconds, I mean, it's very slow. Pit lane is a 37 mile an hour speed limit. So it is looking very, very likely that those that will pit again will probably fall quite far. As Padge is now pitting for what will be his final pit stop, and Ethan getting past Wizmitten on the exit in the entry to the final corner. That's very different place to overtake, not one you usually see. And now Cod Camper is at the back of his train. He's within DRS of the Red Bull, and he will make the move probably down the start not the start finish straight. What am I on? I don't know, but he will make the move now around the outside, and Wizmitten will not pick up a fight as he is on those old hard compound tyres. Deflated We, these guys could, the only one that's probably going to make it to the end could be Killian. I imagine Killian will go to the end. It's just going to be dependent on who tries to go to the end here, and the gap being 6.1 seconds as IIRL does now come into the pit lane, unleashing Deflated We. Him and Nico are on the same strategy, so if tyre strategies do stay the same, then Killian is looking in a better opportunity to be able to catch up. As Rothwell does continue, probably for just one more lap. We'll have to wait and see. I've said it again. I need like a dictionary. Someone for my birthday give me a dictionary, because I need to improve my words. But anyway, it's been quite a lackluster race at the moment. Cod Camper now on the back of Ethan. Both of them on similarly aged tyres. So does that mean that Cod Camper will get past Ethan, or will Ethan pick up a fight? We'll have to wait. Oh no, I need to stop. We'll have to see what Ethan does down the street, and will he fight Cod Camper? Cod Camper, of course, starting on the soft compound tyre. Oh, very, very late dive there, and Cod Camper going off track. Not hitting the wall, but he did try a late dive in which Ethan defended really, really well. We'll see how IIRL does, trying to catch up to the field. He's got quite a big gap to bring back in only 12 laps. But will he be able to do it? He will be on the freshest tyres, and those mediums will be hot very, very quickly compared to the hard compound tyres, which will be aged. But will the hard compound tyre be able to hold on? We'll have to see as Alessio goes up to P4. Rothwell almost hitting the pit there, but he will come in for his final pit stop. He'll have fresh tyres, but will maybe be behind Cod Camper as Cod Camper gets past Ethan. Apologies for not catching that overtake. I needed a drink, and hydrating is important. As Captain Aiden has now left the session, and I am in game chat for some reason. As we do that slight delay, Wizmitten coming into the pit lane. I don't believe any moves have been done. IIRL is not yet able to gain any time. But as it currently stands, Nico still leading away by 7.3 seconds. Well, Nico is a pad driver, so we'll have to see how his tyre wear is. I imagine his tyre wear may be slightly worse than most that are on the wheel. But unfortunately, it does seem that Nico is going to pull out quite a big gap. And that gap is not going to fall, which is very, very disappointing to say. But it does mean that there has not been as good of a battle as Rothwell and Alex swapping places here. As Rothwell does have the DRS and Alex will get through. IIRL setting the fast lap. He's got now 12-second gap to Alessio. So Aya looking very, very racy, which we love to see. We'll see how much he can gain, as that was a time penalty for Alpha Matti and Ethan. So Ethan now has a 3-second time penalty. It won't drop him down any places as of yet, because Alex and Rothwell also have track limit penalties, but Ethan is on the back of Camper, but I don't think he will fight as of yet. I don't think it's worth Ethan fighting Camper. IIRL now has a 10-second gap to Alessio. But Aya is looking very, very good, very, very hot, which we love to see. And we'll see, he's got 10 laps to do it. Will he be able to catch up to Alessio? And maybe even further than that, even Killian. Or maybe even Deflated Wee and get P2. Well, genuinely, this will be really exciting, as Deflated Wee and Killian coming into the pit lane. So they are doing the two-stop, and they've activated the undercut of Nico. Okay, here we go, as my old man Fabrizio Romano would have said. Aya now P3. Is Nico going to come in, or is he going to go on for another 9 laps? Johnny B in the chat saying that he doesn't think that Nico will be able to carry on, but we are going to sit on board with Nico for this lap. What will he decide to do? Alex getting a 10-second time penalty in the pit lane. That is very unfortunate for Alex's race. I really hope he carries on. Of course, he is, if all results go well on Sunday, he is going to be a Constructors Champion for Williams alongside Killian, who is your assisted champion. Alpha Matti getting past Alex in the pit lane. Alex unfortunately getting a 3-second time penalty in the first corner. It technically be turn 2, wouldn't it? I'm not sure. But Nico comes in. Nico coming in, and he will come in, so we'll see how this what this will mean. Alessio will get past, and even Aya will get past. Of course, this is a very slow pit lane. Killian and Camper fighting. Where will Nico come out? Will he come out ahead? It's looking close, but it's looking like it's going to be Aya that will come out ahead, and Aya now going to put the battle on for his life. Alessio is now going to be leading the race. Camper with a 3-second time penalty. Nico has 8 seconds to gain in 8 laps. He of course still has to make a move. Will he be able to do it? I expect Alessio will not come into the pit, so he will be going to the end of this race. So we do have a race on our hands, people. Do not go anywhere if you want to see some action. Rothwell getting... I really need to pay attention to battles. I really apologise. Alpha Matti also getting past Wizard in the final corner, who then gets a 3-second time penalty and comes into the pit lane. And he will be going on to a set of soft compound tyres. I think that's a risky one. He's changing a front wing. I think that's a risky one from Wizard Mitten. But he will be going to the end. IIRL is gaining on Alessio, but Nico is also gaining on Aya. This is going to be a great battle. Which demon are you referring to? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're referring to your assisted teammate. I completely went blind. But Nico, he's 1.3 seconds off. He's got all the pressure on him to make it to the end of this race, which he will be able to do. As we got a yellow flag, that is Alpha Matty's round. That has not caused any safety car, so that is not given us a. In fact, it'd probably be better without a safety car because Nico has to work. Jennifer Alphamati is retired, and that is another VSC. That is not a full course safety car. So Nico will have to wait just that ever bit longer now. Alphamati saying he had a puncher. That's very unfortunate, mate. I hope you had fun though in your Ferrari, even if you weren't able to finish the race. But that has put a delay in Nico's plans. Will anyone here get caught out by a Delta? Or will it be plain sailing for Nico? He's got 1.2 second gap as it currently stands. We don't know when the safety car the VSC will end. As when we get underway very soon. Irasqua. No! Aya! No! No! Aya! No! Aya! Aya's been caught out by a drive-through. No! Oh, that's made. And he's got a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And he's chosen to retire there. Aya, you were having such a good race. Aya, what are you doing? Oh, that's made me upset. That's upset me. But we'll go back up to the front of the grid. It's Alessio versus Nico for the race win. It's 3.1 second gap to Alessio, and I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I just want to see warnings, as Nico has 0 warnings and Alessio also has 0 warnings. Alessio last time out in Imola being one of the only drivers to not get a track limit penalty, or any warning in fact, my apologies. And of course points do go down to the top 15 in IIRL, so it does mean every driver will score. That does mean that this battle is now 1.5 seconds, so it does look like Nico is benefiting massively, and it's going to look like it's going to be a Nico win. But we do have six laps left. We'll just have to wait for the inevitable, as Wizardbit setting the fast lap of the race with a 31.8. Nico is now within DRS. Will Alessio put up a fight, or will he just accept defeat? Yeah, Nico looking very good here. He's looking very cool and comfortable on the new tyres. He's going to wait for the DRS. Will he be able to make the move now? Look, he's going for it down the inside of this bend. Will Alessio fight it? I don't think he is. Ethan getting a time penalty. That does mean that it's going to be Nico on for a race when he's got 5 laps of driving left to produce magic, as Cod Camper and Rothwell having a lovely battle here round here. As it's not yet time for Rothwell to make the move. Yeah, Nico has been able to have a really good race here. I apologise to everyone who has raced in this race and who is watching this race that Nico was placed in the wrong car, and like I said earlier in the stream, I will take full blame for that. The performance patch given notes given to me were not as credible as I had imagined. Rothwell with a send and a half on Cod Camper. God, able to make his way back through. Yeah, I really just apologise to everyone, especially to Alessio and Aya, and anyone that was fighting near the front, that Nico has kind of been able to walk this race. But we know for future reference and going into next season that the performance patch given was not as credible. So with the last 4 laps race, yeah, to be fair, COD are starting on the soft tyres and is now in 5th place, even with the 3-second time penalty, which does look like Killian is actually gonna get P3 if he can get within that yeah, that 3-second gap. He's got half a tenth, not half a tenth, half a second to do it. Apologies. In fact, Cod Camber is also our biggest gainer, starting from the back of the grid. He's probably a big shout for driver of the day, which will be decided later on in the Discord. Back to penalties, you have Deflated Wee on 3, Cod on 3, Rothwell on 3, Ethan on 6, and Alex and Wiz's Mitten on 19 and 12 seconds respectively. Wiz's Mitten does have the fast lap of the race, if I recall correctly. With 3 laps remaining, there is not really a credible the battle that on oh my gosh, I'm failing to speak. The closest battle on track is between Cod Camper and Rothwell, looking like they're having a lovely little ding dong here. Rothwell not going to send it down the inside. Rothwell is not going to look at making the move. Those, to be fair, both those hard tyres and those medium compounded tyres are going to be screaming. Rothwell having another look down around the outside, and Cod Camper is going to settle in behind. So it's going to push Cod Camper down to P6 and Rothwell P5, and Rothwell and Cod Camper having a lovely, lovely fight here. This is going to be great battling here. Yeah, when I started this season of being a streamer, it was David telling me to drink water, and now it's putting my teeth back in. I can never get away from a little speech intolerance. But Cod Camper still within DRS of Rothwell, and Cod Camper is the one with the DRS, so he will be able to stay in. But those medium compounded tyres and those hard compounded tyres are going to be very, very toasty. Is that what it's called? Is it a speech impediment? I don't know what the term is. I have no idea what. Wisdom coming in for another pit stop, so it does look like those soft compounded tyres do not last very long whatsoever. And it also doesn't help that the water I'm drinking is warm, so it doesn't actually like clear my throat and make my mouth any less dry. But it does mean that Cod Camper does have DRS again, but he's not close enough to make a move. This is the closest battle on track, and it's for P5. It's a lovely little battle, and with Rothwell having a penalty, whoever leads this battle at the end will have P5. Both Rothwell and Cod Camper being our biggest gainers, they of course did start from the back of the grid. Rothwell leading the way as it currently stands. I do think the winner of this battle will be in the running for driver of the day. I'm going to steer away from giving it to Nico because I do believe strongly that he is in the wrong car. But we are entering the penultimate lap of the race. Nico has just crossed the start-finish line. for the final, the penultimate lap. This battle between Cod and Rothwell looking very, very good. Cod Camper is falling away slightly, even with the help of DRS. It looks like Rothwell's medium tyres might be better than Cod's hards. We've got a yellow flag that I believe is Wizard Mitten. Yeah, it looks to be Wizard Mitten and Padge coming into the pit lane. We're going back to the battle with Rothwell and Cod Camper. Cod Camper is 4 tenths, as it looks like Padge may be going for the fastest lap of the race, as Alex passes Padge in the pit lane. Battle for P8. Cod Camper still 7 tenths away, but he's very, very poor entry and exit there from Cod Camper. Oh, not looking very, very fun. As we now, and Nico has crossed the line to start the start finish. I don't know what words are. Oh no. I'm losing track of words. I've said the same like 4 cliches this race, and I've lost all. I need to read dictionary. But Nico entering the final lap as Cod Camper goes straight on. Doesn't get a track limit penalty. I think I'm okay. I'm definitely not having a word breakdown here. and as Wizard Mitten gets a 10-second time penalty for track limit, as all Rothwell and Cod fighting now is very, very close on the final lap. Will one of them make a move on the other? We'll have to wait for the part of the Anderson Bridge, and Wizard Mitten has gone out on wet tyres. Wizard Mitten is on wet tyres, so we'll see how that goes. Does mean as Rothwell and Cod still not in that section. Oh, hang on, Alessio and Deflated Wee. Something I completely missed. Contact between the two. Deflated Wee is going to finish ahead on track, but is going to be P2 for Alessio, as Alessio. Oh, big lock up there from Deflated Wee. Nico crumbs across the line to win the race. Deflated Wee will cross the line P2. And Alessio will cross the line P3, but it'll be P2 for Alessio. Killian getting P3, great race there from Killian. Deflated Wee being P4. Rothwell will be P5 as Cod goes straight on. So that would allow Ethan to get past as Cod Camper spins. Rothwell will be P5, Ethan will be P6. Cod Camper, your realistic tier champion. As Cod Camper is doing donuts, so he will not be. So is Ethan actually. So there is a little donut train going here, which is very, very entertaining. Which will push Alex up to P6, even with the 10-second time penalty. Padge is going for the fastest lap. Padge gets the fastest lap and will be pushed up to P6, so a good result there from Padge. Ethan will be P8, but Alex will push to P9. Cod Camper will be P9, or he will be P10. As Cod Camper, as Wizard Mitten will hit us with some more donuts. Nico, I wouldn't say it's disrespected. I think because you pulled a big gap, it makes it look like you got put in the wrong car, and I mean based off I'm not gonna get into that, but it just we don't want these types of gaps in realistic tiers. So it's a difficult. It But that is the race win for Nico. Right there, he will be celebrating this win, and he will celebrate this one with pride. Says he drove the best race of one of the best races of his life. He did look to show that on the track. And Alessio and Killian taking the other two spots on the grid. As we have been black screened, but that that is not gonna that's not gonna change it, as we had Nico winning the race, Alessio P2, Killian P3, Deflated Wee P4, Rothwell P5, Padge P6 getting the fast lap as well, Ethan P7, Alex P8, Cod P9, and Wizard Mitten P10, with your DNFers being Irasqua, Alpha Matti, Tacit, and Captain Aiden. So that does bring us to the end of the season. But that does mean that it is Tacit, no problem. I hope you enjoyed the track, and I hope you enjoyed your car. But that is going to be it for this season of Realistic Tier. Of course, it has been a great season. It's been a great little experiment to bring to IRL, to bring something fresh and different for the racers to see different drivers getting seeing how this opportunity runs. And to be fair, I will be honest and say it has been a pretty good experiment. It is not very often that the cars um the cars are the cars seem to we seem to get the choices of the cars quite good very often. There are some times where you can make mistakes and it produces a bit of what seems to be a dominating race, but you can't really tell the difference between whether that's the car or the driver. You can put it down to both. I mean, so you can't have a good car without a good driver. So word it that way, maybe. So I apologize to Nico for my wording around the situation that we've had in today's race, and I hope that does not change anything to do with us. But I apologise for my wording and everything. I don't mean no disrespect, and I know it can feel that way. But um, thank you very, very, very much for joining myself and Tacit during the season. We've had some great times on in the commentary box together, and on Sunday it is the season finale of Assist here, which means that the constructors' title is still up for grabs. It is a battle between Williams and Aston Martin. So Nico and Johnny B are going to be fighting Killian and Alex for that P1 in the constructors' title. P1 and 2 in the drivers' title championship is already done, so you're going to have a lovely race there with something to fight for. We will be there. Thank you very much for all the stuff. Thank you very much, Killian, for the kind words. Thank you very much, Tacit, for the kind words. It has been an honour. You will be joined probably by Deflated Wee and Snacks if Deflated Wee doesn't forget about the stream this week. And we will be back at 7:30 p.m. GMT or whatever. Is it GMT? I don't know what time zone we're in anymore. But it'll be 7:30 p.m. UK time that we will be in Singapore for the final round of Assist here, and then we will have the award stream coming up soon, the reveal stream, and maybe even a social race in there. If you'd like to get involved, get invites to the Discord and everything like that. But that is going to be it from a wonderful season of streams from myself, and that is going to be goodbye from me. And thank you very much for joining me.